Hey guys, Mina here. Just jumping in here to let you guys know we have something so exciting. It's a free masterclass and we created it just for you right now.
We keep getting questions. How do I pivot and sell right now? The number one question we get is, how can I make more sales? And so we want to teach you how to create a plan to boost your sales and grow your business right now. So if you want this totally free masterclass that we've created for product-based businesses, head over to pivotandsell.com. We'll see you in there.
Welcome to the Product Boss Podcast, where we help product-based businesses grow their sales and improve their strategies.
Hey everyone, I want to introduce you to my co-host and biz bestie, Minna Kumlo-Sita, an Amazon guru that has built a multi-six-figure product-based business.
And introducing the other half of the Product Boss, Jacqueline Snyder. She has helped launch and grow over 500 fashion apparel and accessory brands, even one of her own.
And together, we share our inventory of secret weapons that will help you dig deep and do the work it takes.
Are you ready? Let's build together.
Hey everybody, Jacqueline and Minna here, your co-hosts of the Product Boss Podcast. Today, we will be sharing a conversation we had with a fellow female founder. You see, we believe women helping women is what the world needs more of. Introducing our female founder episodes, where we interview fellow female entrepreneurs and highlight their small business.
Our goal is to shine a spotlight on product businesses to encourage our community to support each other, learn from each other, buy from each other, and lift each other up. So let's jump in.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Female Founders, where we feature female business owners and talk about their product, give them our platform to amplify their voices, their businesses, and really just lift. We believe that helping women will lift us all up. So welcome to the podcast, Brittany.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
So Brittany is the owner of Black Girl Mathgic, which is a subscription box. Would you mind telling our listeners a little bit about your business?
Absolutely. And as you can see, I'm in the car and there's a business story behind that as well. So Black Girl Mathgic is the first and only monthly subscription box designed to increase math confidence and decrease math anxiety in girls on a 3rd to 8th grade math level. I have a bachelor's degree in math. I have been tutoring and coaching children in math for over 15 years, and I am extremely passionate about rewriting and reshaping how we all view math. Most people hate it. Most people have a lot of anxiety when it comes to doing math. And the fact that math is literally in everything means that there needs to be a shift in how we relate to math. So that is really how I came up with the idea for the product. And I focus specifically on girls. And when I say girls, I mean girls of all backgrounds, because the data continues to show that when it comes to math confidence, girls are much less likely to be confident in their math abilities than boys are. And that shows up in so many different things. And there are a variety of reasons behind that. So I wanted to create a product where they could very clearly see themselves as math learners, math doers, and math stars.
I love it. I think that's very true. Statistically, it is shown that girls don't go into engineering, architecture, all those math and science-based things because they are less confident. I love that you picked grade 3 through 8th. What made you pick those particular grades?
So yeah, that's a great question. So I chose those particular grades. Well, there were a couple of things. So number one, I've read some studies that say math anxiety can start as young as 5 years old. But it's around 8 years old, 3rd grade, when girls really are starting to kind of come into their identity and, where they're making friends and they're getting older and becoming more independent. And that's around the age when they decide whether they are going to be a quote unquote math person or not. So 8 years old is one of the main ages where they check out of math, where they're like, this isn't for me. And 3rd to 8th grade is where the foundation is set. So my box is really focused on building basic math confidence and math skills, because you need those basic math skills, whether you want to be a rocket scientist or whether you want to be a cashier at Walmart. You need basic math skills to do just about everything in life and to, just to move to maximize the impact you want to have no matter what it is you want to do. So I chose that range so we could really drive in the concepts that are taught in those grades.
Absolutely. So how long have you had the business?
So I pre-launched in November of 2018, and I spent about 6 months in pre-launch just building my list. And I've entered and won a few pitch competitions and did some beta testing activities. And I officially launched to the world actually this time last year. So last June, and I shipped my first boxes in July.
Okay. And you sell right now, they're subscription boxes, they're monthly, and they're all through Cratejoy?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to roll out my official website very soon.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm on Cratejoy.
And what comes in the box?
So the box items are items that we specifically curate to address the phenomena that contribute to low math confidence and high math anxiety. So we include a caring adult guide for the parent, mostly mom, who also probably has some math anxiety that she has been dealing with. So to give her some tips and tricks for helping her girl maximize her box experience. We also included inserts, just to let folks know what's in the box. We have a different theme every month, and we pick the theme based on the woman that we feature. So we include a feature of a Black woman mathematician each month. And these are all women who have at least one math degree, not because I'm trying to say, oh, you must major in math in college, but because a lot of people think all you can do with a math degree is be a teacher. That's the question I used to get. That was $1 million question all the time. Everybody was like, oh, you must want to be a teacher, which is a great and noble profession, but there's so many other things you can do with a math degree. So we interview women, and we have a different woman that we feature each month. And she's really how we pick the theme. So whatever she did with her math degree is how we come up with the theme. So for instance, this month we are featuring a woman who has a math degree and is a realtor. So we're doing real estate and home ownership math this month.
Amazing.
So that's the first thing. Then we include 3 to 5 items to really bring the theme to life and make the lesson tangible, understanding that a lot of times math education feels very abstract and not attainable. So we just include fun stuff that makes it fun. And interesting. So there's always at least one screen-free activity, just because the students I work with, as well as my nieces and nephews, are over screen. So I wanted to create something where they could get off the screen for a little while. So that could be a math game. It could be a book. It could be math dice. So there's always at least one educational screen-free activity, and then other items that relate to the theme that make it fun, but that are also useful and practical. A math affirmation postcard. So just a positive saying that a girl can put up on her wall or in her room to give her that extra boost. Custom stickers, because girls love stickers.
They do.
We do custom stickers with our artists every month. And then probably my favorite part of the box is our math activity booklet, which is why I'm in the car, because I just went to go pick them up from my printer. Because it's my shipping week this week. So the math activity booklet, it's a 6-page booklet of whatever the theme is of the math around that theme. So as I mentioned earlier, we're doing real estate and home ownership math. So this month we're looking at houses and mortgages. We're drawing rooms with using area perimeter. We're talking about commissions. We're talking about laying carpet and what is the number of square feet. If it's this many square feet, how much is that in square yards? So we're really applying the math in a real world context.
Mm-hmm. I need all of this.
I know. And I love that you actually applied it towards different careers, because for me, a lot of times I think, why do I need math when I actually do use it, even as like a creative or as a business owner? And I didn't even think about real estate. And that is so true that you need math skills for that as well. So I think it's cool to see, what you could potentially do with building your math skills.
Yes.
I was just having a cubic square feet conversation with my husband outside, and I was like, Siri?
And I think part of that too is because, like I said, I've been working with children for over 15 years, and I can't even tell you how many times I would hear, well, when am I going to use this? You know?
Right.
And so this is my response to that. Here's how in many, many situations, how math is going to come up. And that makes it fun and that makes it relatable. That makes it relevant. And then they can start to make those connections between math and their lived experiences.
And like you said, it's applicable. And I think it also gives these girls in general, but this open mind and open thought to, oh, I can see where I go, because exactly what you said, like teachers, I know when I was growing up, if moms had jobs, they were teachers. Or really, I mean, they were teachers or stay at home where I lived. And there wasn't a lot of in between. Like you weren't around moms that were executives. I guess maybe some might've been in real estate.
Sure.
But there weren't these opportunities. And so now looking at this and saying, here are ways in which you can apply it. And then it opens up their mind to the possibilities of careers for them as they're finding their way.
Yeah.
It is, I love that it's building their confidence. I'm very much, I love how you reframed it for them at such a young age. Usually I say to even my own daughter, I was like, math, ugh. So I should probably quit saying that.
Yes,
and then
don't say it.
And then also I'm always like, go ask your dad, because I even use those words. So I love that your box incorporates the family and really rethinking how math can be a fun thing.
Yes, it can be fun and it's very useful.
And it can be feminine. You don't have to ask your dad. Right.
Yeah. Right. You can learn it yourself. You can ask
mom
your
pulls out her like notebook and goes, wait, okay, this is what it says.
I'm like, oh.
And that's what we include on the Carrying a Dog Guide. It's like, okay, instead of this, let's try to say this.
Yes.
Let's make this an exploratory thing. Let's not make this like, oh, I don't get it. Just go ask your dad. Like, let's find this out together. Because I've been, like I said, I've been tutoring kids forever.
There's a couple questions. One of them is that, do you think you ever expand to younger girls in your boxes?
I've thought about that and we've had parents ask. I'm not exactly sure if we will do a subscription box for younger ages, but I definitely think that there are some things we want to do. We're getting into very, very beginning stages of children's books. And some other types of complementary products. And then, of course, I would be remiss if I didn't share, because the boy moms have been asking forever, what about the boys? So there will be a boy box coming soon. I initially thought that I was going to be able to roll it out this fall or winter, but with the pandemic, my priorities have shifted a little bit.
Just a little.
But, like I tell parents too, I'm just like, girls aren't the only ones who need to know that girls can do math.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's true.
So the math in these boxes is gender neutral. Most of the items I source for the boxes can be appealing to a boy and a girl. So I've had a couple parents order boxes for their boys. So I think that it can work. But I understand that, they need the images of themselves as well. So that's something I'm looking to also.
And have you seen a kick up in terms of subscriptions since homeschooling happened for the entire world?
Oh, yes. So, and funny enough, these past couple of days, or I'll say within the past week, we've had about 3 posts between Instagram and Twitter that have gotten a really, really great response. And so we've seen a lot of growth in terms of our followers. And then also a lot of people reaching out because they want to donate boxes for children who may not have the means to access one. So it has definitely been a busy time in a good way.
That's amazing.
And do you think are you going to address, so we're also recording this just post the, Black Lives Matter movement, and we are the week after in terms of real time, the riots, right? Because there was a movement and then there were riots and there's a lot of conversation happening.
Mm-hmm.
So
still protests happening though.
Still protests, but curious about your box, since it is subscription. I know you have to plan it out. Are you addressing anything about, like, I guess, does anything happen in real time within your box or for your students, or that you're going to address it in the future? Because I probably see too that with the visibility of your business, that there are probably going to be, white moms buying the box. Like the world has awoken to shifting what our children see, right? Like
Right.
a lot of conversation about children's books and how kids are reflected. So just curious if you've even thought about that.
Absolutely. I mean, even this month, for the real estate and home ownership box, there's a blurb in the back about redlining so that kids can really understand that what is happening right now is not an isolated incident. It's not just this one murder of George Floyd that has sparked this outrage. This is contextual. This is years and years of racism and discrimination in almost any field. I mean, even the name of my business is a direct response to the lack of inclusion and the invisibility of Black girls in the realm of mathematics, and who you think about when you think about math education, and who gets to have high quality math experiences, or who's getting tracked into lower quality math experiences. So there is definitely going to be I already did a little bit of that, but at the same time, I was kind of sensitive to it because these are children. But after everything happened, I was like, okay, well, now it's an opportunity for me to continue to provide even more history around some of these things so that people further understand, like, this stuff, this is where we are today. This is not a vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So absolutely.
Just amazing. Somebody said, what a gift you're giving to people. And that's so absolutely true. So Brittany, why did you start Black Girl Mathgic? Did you always think that you were going to be an entrepreneur?
That's a great question. So when I initially went to college, I thought I was going to do engineering. So I went to Spelman College in Atlanta, Georgia, and I was like, oh, I'm going to do computer science, and then I'm going to do computer engineering, and then I'll figure it out. I'm a little bit older. Coding was not sexy like it is now. So I was not in love with the computer science. So I ended up switching my major to math because I've just always loved math. I've always enjoyed it. And I knew that whatever I ended up doing, having a math background would serve me well. It was in college when I fell in love with tutoring. And 15 plus years later, I'm tutoring children. I'm working at a nonprofit where we serve about 150 students. And I started I've been there for about 4 years, and very quickly when I started, because typically my tutoring is one-on-one, I'm at the student's house, I'm working with them. When I got into this environment where I was working with several students at one time, I'm like, oh my goodness, my students across the board. So irrespective of school, grade, background, when they needed help with higher level math, so I'm talking about geometry, algebra, those kinds of things, most of the time, they really didn't need help with the higher level math. They were struggling with basic math concepts. So once they got done with all the algebra and the X is over here and Y is over here, and it came time to multiply by 3/4, and they haven't mastered multiplication of fractions, well, then that just makes everything feel so much harder, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to figure out what to do with that. I'm like, okay, I can't be a full-time tutor. How can I really make a massive impact on this issue and the confidence issue I was seeing, especially with my girls? How can I amplify this? And so when I met who is now my husband, he had like 4 subscription boxes he was subscribed to because he does not like to shop. He had HelloFresh, and he had Blue Apron, and he had another box sending him clothes, and he had all these different boxes. And that was my introduction to the model. So fast forward about 4 years later, I was looking at the STEM subscription box landscape, and I noticed that there were a lot of cool STEM subscription boxes, but nobody really was talking about the math. And that is an issue because math is the foundation of STEM. So I said, well, I have a math background. I've worked with kids. Let me try my hand at this. And so that's how Black Girl Mathgic was born.
I love it. Literally, I mean, I think when he was buying all those subscription boxes was probably when subscription boxes were really at a height before.
Yeah.
So it's cool that you took that concept and you're opened up to it and implemented it for what you needed to do, because now you can impact so many people.
Exactly.
And through parents and teachers, because I say parents and teachers because right now the parent is the teacher.
Yeah. Yes, they are.
It's true. And so you decided to do the subscription box. I know a lot of people kind of vacillate between whether that's the right move for them or not. Sounds like a lot of the products you are putting in the box are actually products that you've created. Are you sourcing anything? Like, are you outsourcing any of the product?
Yes. So I would say about half of the items I create in-house. So that's the math affirmation cards, the math activity booklets, the inserts, the Carrying a Dog guide, and the custom stickers where I work with my own artist and we turn the art into stickers. And then the 3 to 5 items I include to like make it fun and bring the theme to life and all that good stuff. Those are sourced wholesale from vendors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. And where do you see Black Girl Mathgic going? Like, do you want it to be your full-time thing? Where do you see it eventually? What's your end goal with it?
Yeah, so that is also another wonderful question. So for me, it is so much more than just a subscription box. I'm in love with the subscription box model, and when I talk to parents and when I talk to adults about building, I mean, really with anything, when you're trying to create a long-lasting result, you need consistent exposure, right? Like you don't get to eat one banana and be like, okay, I'm eating healthy now, or do one push-up or one sit-up and now you have a six-pack. Like you gotta, things take place over time and consistency yields results. And so that's why I was really drawn to this model, because I know even at such a young age, we have so many kids who have math anxiety. And then there are a few other terms, math shame and math trauma. And so these are real phenomena that have been written widely about. And so that to undo that, you need consistent math confidence boosting experiences. So that's why I was so bullish on this model. But at the same time, this is a movement for me. I envision a world where it's not socially acceptable to say you're bad at math, So I have so many ideas. As I mentioned, the children's books is one area that I'm currently exploring. Also reaching out to other genders. So like with the boy boxes I mentioned earlier, and who knows where it can go from there. Teachers are now saying, okay, what about a teacher guide or a teacher kit or teacher packs? And so how can we adapt what we're already doing so that teachers can use them in small groups in their classroom? How can we use this as a tool to get parents talking to their kids about race? And like, why would I even feel so led to even call my business Black Girl Mathgic? I mean, partly because it's a pun, it's a play on the term Black Girl Magic, but also like, what is the story behind that? So there's so many different things that can be done with it. And I'm just really excited about the opportunities, because another thing is like most people, because of how a lot of folks feel about math, like no one wants to really do what I'm doing. So there's a lot of
like math.
Math, there's very low competition here, I feel like.
There's a lot of opportunity for sure.
What's interesting that you say too about, I'm trying to think about subjects, and you don't really hear people say, I'm not good at science, or I'm not good at writing, maybe sometimes spelling, but math is the thing. You either are good at it or you're not. And I feel like most people would say, I'm not good at it, because you do, that level of good at is like genius level. And if you're anything below it, you're not good.
Right.
And then even rethinking what it means to be good at math. I had one of my students, I was working with her, and I'm telling you guys, she was sitting there she was doing her problems and she was doing them correctly. But out of her mouth, she's saying to me, Miss Brittany, I'm not good at this. I don't get this. I'm not good at this. And I'm like, but you're doing it and you're doing such a great job. But she still couldn't make that connection. And I said, well, what does it mean? I asked her, what does it mean to be good at? What does it mean for somebody to be good at math? And her answer was, they get the answer quickly.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a good thing. Wherever she learned that, that's a lesson that we have to undo, because math is not about speed. It's not about, and of course, in the educational setting, in a school setting, there are tests and there are benchmarks, and so that it can feel rushed. And we definitely acknowledge that. But I tell my students all the time, people who are mathematicians, like this is their job and this is what they do for a living, it can take years, for them to solve a problem or to work through a proof or whatever. So it's even reshifting how kids approach math and math doing. Like you definitely should sit and think about things for a while. Sometimes that might be what you need to do, and that's okay.
I would say that quote right there is applicable to all things that are happening.
Yeah. When you
sit and think and learn.
Yeah.
Even when you're saying that, it made me think of cooking, and I teach math, but I tell my kids about fractions, and then I have to ask Alexa to help me because of converting all the things. And we do it a lot in like cooking and baking and things like that. And even cooking and baking is not about speed. It's about just
precision
enjoying the result of it, usually,
Exactly. That's a really good analogy.
This is amazing and eye-opening.
Yes. It really is. So we had a few questions, Brittany, about how people can purchase from you. Do you have a one-time purchase? How do people gift boxes? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. So yes, every box is, well, I won't say every box because some of them I'm sold out of, but we absolutely offer one-time purchases. So what I've been telling people, so on Cratejoy, if people want to order the current box, they would just make sure they toggle will not renew at checkout. And then that way they'll only get one box. And those can absolutely be purchased as gifts. Also, I am in the process, another fun entrepreneurship story. When I first started Black Girl Mathgic, blackgirlmathgic.com was actually taken. It was not being, I know that's what I said. It was not being used, but it was taken. And I had to wait about 6 months for it to be available to purchase. But of course, these are the types of things that'll come up in business, but you can't let that stop you. So I still got to work. I just did blackgirlmathgicbox.com. But I'm saying all that because I finally purchased it. My website is about 95% ready. I'm getting ready to launch it very soon. But because of that, I ended up having a couple of different websites, which I was a little bothered by because I felt like that wasn't the best thing for the customer experience. So what I've been telling people, I have a link tree. So what I've been telling people is to go on my link tree. There's one link that takes you to Cratejoy so that you can get the current box. And then there's another link that takes you to a Shopify site, my Shopify store, where you can purchase the past boxes that we have available. So there are two options. And as I mentioned, I'll say it again, on both of those, you can absolutely just get a one-time box, a gift box, or whatever you like.
Okay. So let's tell our listeners then, let's give them the URLs, the Instagram, where can they follow you, support you, and buy from you?
Yes. So the link tree is, it's link, and then it's tr.ee /Black Girl Mathgic. If that is too much to remember, because it is a pretty interesting URL they have set up, you can go on Instagram or Facebook at Black Girl Mathgic, and the link is in the bio. And then I'm on Twitter as BLK Girl Mathgic because the full name was too long. So it's BLK Girl Mathgic, and then the link is there as well. The link tree is there as well.
Great. And yeah, that link tree will take you right to your shop on Cratejoy so that they can subscribe. And we will put everything in the show notes. So it's super easy for you guys to just click right there in the show notes and head on over and grab your box.
Yes.
Brittany, thank you so much for being on the podcast with us today.
Thank you guys for having me. And I just really appreciate that you guys were flexible with me sitting in the car.
Oh, you're fine. Thank you so much, Brittany. You're so fantastic.
Thank you.
Hey guys, wait, before you go, we want to remind you that we've created this incredible masterclass. It is totally free. It is our Pivot and Sell masterclass where we are going to teach you how to create a plan to boost your sales and grow your business right now. You do not want to miss this. It's totally free. So Minna, where should they go?
Go to pivotandsell.com and you guys can get that free masterclass and get started on creating a plan to boost your sales right now.